Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you are on this good green earth of ours. May I start by saying... it has been made aware, I've been made aware that I have a little bit of a vocal tick going on, so I'm going to do my absolute best to avoid before every single sentence I say. Consider it, I'm giving myself a CPD certificate, continuing professional development, which is useful for a career in trade. And that's what we're going to be looking at today in this Stellaris tutorial. We are the Great Velveteer Commonwealth, as we have been in all the games. Oh, I did it then. Okay, I'll be more aware. Right. So, we are in a federation right now. If you want to see how this whole civilization developed, then check out the live streams. I'll pop them up here somewhere so you can have a look how we've gotten to this point. Although I did do a lot of the later work offline. Trade. What is it? How does it work? How do you generate it? What can you use it for? And how does it have an effect if you are in, so let's just do that, a trade league. So let's have a quick look at our policies. We'll have a trade policy, trade league. Trade league, it used to be that for each collected trade value, it used to be 1 energy, 0.5 unities and 0.5 I did it again, consumer goods, but that's now been nerfed a little bit, so we get essentially we get 0.5 energy, you can see it there on the tooltip, 0.25 unity and 0.25 toasters per month. And we can have a look to see how that is impacting our own economy here. We can see trade 342. So that's half of what it would be on wealth generation, which is the default. We also have unity, so trade 171. There, consumer goods, trade 171. So that's a lot of free stuff there, because we've got what you can do, but we've got no special like factories making trade out of minerals or things like that. Some trade, if I just hold down the Alt key, let's go to this system, Yelbarasta, we've got trade value just hanging around. It's a natural resource as well as one that you can create yourself, and that's pretty incredible. So, let's get to the bottom of the trade system in Stellaris. You want to have a look at a glance at how trade is moving throughout your empire. Trade routes map mode. Right here, it's the 2 arrows back and forth, and it will look something like this. So we've got these lovely blue lines all moving around and doing all kinds of various things. And why am I showing you this first instead of how trade is generated and what it is because all roads lead to Mock in this case, because all trade goes to the capital. Just like in the Hunger Games. That's something that is very important to consider. Right. Now let's have a look at trade generation. So we're just going to pick any of our planets. Let's have a look at Starope Prime. Starope Prime is currently generating 34 trade value. What exactly is that? Well, you've got a little jewelry here, but this is stuff that people make. Private companies, pawn shops, jewelers, rare spice that can be mined maybe from these mountains in the distance, perhaps. Who knows? Could be some black market trades. There's probably a modifier for that from crime. Oh, this music's a bit fancy. What are we playing? Ah, this is from Mass Effect 2. Let's just go back to lovely Stellaris music. Beautiful. So planets produce trade value mainly from jobs provided by city districts. So we can see here the job of clerks. They produce trade value and amenity, +4 of each. So if we have a look, from POPs themselves, +3.65 trade value. How many POPs have we got? We got 19 Rixie POPs. Let's have a look. Oh, we got another one growing. So we've got a merchant. Why do we have a merchant job as well as an administrator job? Let's have a look. Let's have a look at our civics. Merchant guilds. Capital buildings provide merchant jobs. Merchants also produce unity to unity. So that's another great thing. Whoopsie. Xenophiles, trade value, +10%, and you get an extra envoy as well. Envoys we'll talk about in a whole separate tutorial. So if you go back to Starope, that's producing 3.7 as well as providing extra value to our trade. Trade value +8 rather than a percentage, leading to 34. And then we can see we've got free trade agreements, standardization measures, open markets, buzzword standardization. That's going to be probably all the traditions and quite possibly some galactic community resolutions that might have come in, such as buzzword standardization. Yeah, trade value +5%. Fantastic. That's very good for us. So that's how, without specializing a planet to generate trade, you can still get some of it. If you wanted to min-max a planet to produce trade, this is particularly good on if you want to build an ecumenopolis. We can get commercial zones. So they basically add extra clerk jobs like the city districts do. They, of course, don't provide housing. They take up a building slot. But it will add an extra 10 trade value, that's base, per building. They are, of course, upgradable in exchange for exotic material upkeep, like most other buildings. And you can build a Ministry of Finance or Galactic Stock Exchange, something like that. Which is locked at the moment. I don't think I've got the tech for it at the moment. And just do amazing things with that. You could have hundreds, even probably over 1,000 perhaps, on a fully kitted out planet. So trade value only counts when it reaches your capital. When it reaches your capital, then it is added to the official registrar, and you register, maybe would be a better word, and you can start seeing the benefits of it under trade in your income reports that you can get from hovering over any of your resources. So, what are all of these? What are all of these? This is piracy. Okay, so let's now talk about trade routes. Trade routes require starbases, and so upgraded starbases. Now, this is probably exemplified because we've got the Yukuri system here. If we just have a look, if we just click in. Yeah, there we go. And we've got the world The Veil. It's a very brand new planet. It's already generating 2.62 trade value. But it's not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere because there is no starbase in the system that can send it somewhere. And also there is no starbase that has a collection range of 2. That's 2 jumps, one to Asanis, and then 2 to Yukuri, that is able to collect that trade and add it to the network. So what can we do about this in this example? Oh, there's also some science there. We need to sort that out. So we've got the Vohol system, and we've got the Western Fleet there standing by. The war tutorial, by the way, that is coming. That is going to be something incredible. Let's have a look. So we've got a trade hub. That gives us a collection range of +1. Off-world trading company. That's something you want as a building in the starbase if you have a trade hub, unless there's something else that is more important. And that gives 2 trade value for each trade hub in this station. So we've only got 1 at the moment. But if we were to upgrade this, and that's exactly what we're going to do. Oopsie doopsie doopsie poopsie.
Construction complete.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of stuff. I'll rewind to the previous save. So we can now add another trade hub.
Construction complete.
There we go. And now, if we go back, you see that? It's gone. Because it's now got a collection range of 2. 1, 2. You can count to 2. What am I doing? So now it's collecting trade value in Yukuri, and any future trade value that is generated in the Veil, in the Yukuri system, will also be added to the network. So, Vohall. Let's left click. And you know what we're going to do? We are going to basically just cut that off. What have we done? It's red! It's red! Why is it red? Because it's not connected to our trade network. So we're going to left click. And we are going to right click. And we're going to send all of the trade that Vohall collects. And that could be... so we've got it from Yukuri there. I'm just holding down the Alt key to get all of this. Or it could be from stuff in space, like we see up here. But that's not actually in our territory. That's neutral at the moment. The Great Wound. Yeah, this is a weird system. This is a weird system. I don't think we can actually access it. But yeah, this is weird. I was hoping there'd be a story event when I cleared it out of the I think, void clouds that were guarding it. But no. No. Anyway, back on topic. So basically, we've got a daisy chain of starbases. Vohall delivers to Sidor. Sidor delivers to Gnog. Actually, it bypasses Gnog. You can see there, it just goes straight over it, and then goes to Cursor. Cursor then goes to Potap. Potap then goes all the way through here, all the way through to Makar, which is the capital. That's always the destination. But now we've got a bit of a problem, because we've got piracy. And piracy takes a lot of your stuff. So we can see Potap. Let's have a look. So, okay, Potap, there, coming in from Potap. We're only getting 75% of the trade. Akamar. So it's basically going through the route. Okay? Akamar. We get it all. Alright? Piracy effects currently is 0. Because it hasn't reached above the base protection. What's trade protection? Whew. We're going to take a short break. And then we'll talk about base protection, hangar bays, and all of that sort of stuff. We'll be right back. Welcome back. The sign of a red skull is never welcome. Let's talk about piracy. So basically, piracy will start to affect your trade routes when... I don't know what the trigger is, but when your trade routes start to have significant amount of wealth coming through them. So, for example, we've got a total of 635. Over half of that is coming via the Potap trade hub here, which is also a sort of a fleet command center as well. Let's just have a look at the starbase here. It's probably the biggest one we've got upgraded. Shipping patrol. There we are. So we actually need to reinforce.
Ships upgraded.
Great. Let's have a look at the starbase. All right. So, we have got 2 shipyards, 2 anchorages. Nothing special there. What I could choose to do, I probably won't, because Potap Station is sort of the fleet shipyard, and we should now have built a gateway. Oh, there isn't a gateway. If you don't know what a gateway is, we'll get to that in another video, don't you worry. What could we do to help piracy from this station? We could add a hangar bay. That not only allows us to help defend the system, as it is a military installation, just like a gun battery or a missile battery. But, oh, let's turn the music back on. But let's have a look. Gun battery, if we have a look on the Starbase modifier, protection range +1, trade protection +5. Same for the missile battery, +10 for trade protection on there. And it's +1 protection range for each hangar bay you have. So let's just quickly come back out. This is what we can do inside the actual Starbases themselves. So let's get back and see here. Okay, so maximum piracy is -97.9 in Akamar, 97.9 in Baidan, 81.25. But let's have a look here. So we've got Starbase Jonast is where's the Jonast Starbase? Here. Let's have a look. What's in the Jonast Starbase? Yep, 3 hangar bays. All adding 30 combined trade protection over any 3-star system. So 1, 2, 3. So from Avim onwards, it's going to protect it. Also, if we went to Uldor, it's going to protect that. And you can have these overlapping as well for massive benefits. At the moment, we've just got the base protection of 12. But let's do a bit of magic. Add a couple of hangar bays.
Construction complete.
Fab. Okay, so our Hyperlane Registrar increases our trade collection range. But I'm not sure if there's anything we can do now. Not at the moment. No other buildings that can help us give trade protection from piracy. But that's something that you can do in Starbases to help sort of do it without having to actually do anything manually. I'll come on to what that means in a moment. The important thing to also remember is that if you have a wormhole, this isn't ours at the moment, but it goes over there. If you have a wormhole or a gateway, you can just create a wormhole essentially with gateways. Then if it's in a system that has a starbase that offers trade protection, it will extend, and say you add it to a gateway, and you have a gateway network across key choke points and key areas of industry in your empire. Then that plus, well, if you add it, if you just gave it nothing but hangar bays, for example. Oh, what are we doing? What are we doing? Turn that off. If you had just nothing but hangar bays, that's plus 60 protection. Put it on a gateway, a system with a gateway, then any other systems that have a gateway automatically get plus 60 trade protection over any over as much as 6 systems, 6 jumps from that second system with a gateway. So you can have one gateway in a system with nothing but nothing with hangar bays, another one with a station with nothing but trade. What are they actually called? What are they actually called? I've forgotten what they're actually called. Trade hubs. Oh, well, silly boy. So you could have one system with nothing but hangar bays, another system with nothing but trade hubs, and then those effects will, of course, cover your entire empire, essentially, everywhere within 6 jumps. And, of course, build a gateway in Makar Like, for example, if we were to build a gateway in Potap and a gateway in Makar, we wouldn't need all of this. It would just go straight to Makar. Or we could build a gateway in Vahol that we talked about in the beginning, and it wouldn't need to do any of that. It would just go straight to Makar. Fantastic. Fantastic. So, we can see here, Potap, only 86% is getting through. It was a lot worse, wasn't it? But now, we've got Starbase Potap with 44 trade protection. Base protection is affected by traditions as well. If we go to traditions and relics. There we are. Secure shipping. In diplomacy, base trade protection for trader is increased by 5. So we can see if we got anything else here. Market Nexus. Oh, we got that. That's lovely. That's a lovely event. I won't spoil that for you. So, if we go back to base protection, it's 12 now. So it would have been 7. It's probably 5 and then plus 2 for something else. Maybe a special galactic community event. And then Potap, with all its hangar bays, is adding plus 44. And it will do it there. And it'll do it there. And then Janas takes over. Because remember, we've only got 2. So it goes 1, 2, and it can't go any further. But now, Janas takes over. 1, 2, 3. So Janas there, 46, 46, 46, and 46. And of course in Makar itself, well, this is the ultimate the ultimate destination of all of it. So let's just recap here. That's what piracy is. It will show you the maximum amount of piracy, and that is the amount that the pirates can actually physically get at. At the moment it's 97.91. It would be a lot higher if it wasn't for Starbase Potap or the tradition secure shipping, which is under the diplomacy tree. But how can we stamp it out to good? How can we get 86% to 100? By the use of a shipping patrol. Let's have a look at the shipping patrol. The Escort class. Let's have a look. So it's an interceptor. It's got some guns in it in case it needs to take on a pirate raider. We're actually going to change this. We're going to change that for regenerative hull tissue. We are going to change the thrusters to their base variants. So it's a lot slower. That's that. We only have gravitic sensors. We need better than that. It has a side dump drive as well. Lovely, lovely, lovely. So now we're just going to upgrade.
Ships upgraded.
Great. And now we're going to do a patrol maneuver. So patrol, basically, if we just select the shipping patrol, we're going to go to Akamar. And now, because that's where we want the trade route to start, we are going to go from Akamar. And we are going to patrol, basically, all the way to Fionas and then come back. That was going to take a long time. So why have I nerfed the thrusters? Because we don't want them to just basically zoom through the system and not completely eradicate piracy while they're there. So, shipping patrol, you're going to go to Akamar. Then, I'm going to hold shift and set up a patrol route to Fionas. And you can see that is the blue movement bar. So they will fly through, they'll go all the way, they'll get to Fionas, and then they'll turn around and come right back. With Fionas, they'll go to the star, then turn around, rather than flying across the whole system, obviously. What they won't do is just arrive and go, right, turn around, and come back again. Because piracy is actually diminished per day. Just to make sure that it's not tied into the building system somehow. Yes, that's mock. Wrong button. We're going to turn instant builds off. And we are going to now go. Forget everything else that's happening. We're just going to follow the Akamar system. And we'll see There we go. Right. So, piracy suppression, shipping patrol is plus 100. So look at the current piracy. Minus 2.34. It's being suppressed. It's being suppressed. It's being suppressed. And now it's going to go up again. Here. And then we're going to go on. And why is it 100, by the way? Because corvettes provide 10. So having a few corvettes is better. We might want to add another 10 or something. But you see, it'll come back. So currently it's lowering for as long as they're in that system. And then it will start going up again. We could even add a second patrol route. All we need to look at is piracy effects. Minus 6. Minus 13. Yeah. So what I would do in this scenario is I would basically duplicate it and add the same thing. It's because this is quite a long and very high value trade route. So what we could actually do is if we upgraded this starport, let's just turn this on again.
Complete.
Then, you know what we can do? We can reroute. Because all of these systems are protected by Genast. So we want to get rid of these. So let's have a look. Okay, Roltree, you're now going to Uldor. And Uldor, you've automatically gone to Genast and then to Makar. So we've rerouted it. Where's Potap going? Potap, you're going to Uldor. So now, there is no trade going through there. None. We've rerouted it. Now there is trade appearing here. And that's cut the distance of this trade route only down to 4 instead of 4, 5, 6. So we're going to stay here. Let's just see as we stay there, it's going down. So we could do two things. We could either add additional ships to this convoy,
Research complete.
to the shipping patrol, or we could have another shipping patrol that's going, say, in the other direction, so they pass each other occasionally. So, yeah, it's going to take a long time for them. But what happens if we add another 10? There we are. So that's now got 20. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Ah. Piracy is now suppressed. But we're actually losing the trade route value.
Stop fighting.
Because it's getting out of control in these two. So, let's set up a patrol route. So, well, first of all, actually, no, not jump. We're going to get them to go over there, and then start patrolling all the way up back to Akamar. Current piracy is tumbling! Obviously, it's gone over our fleet cap, which is not good. Whatever, I'm going to reset this start game. Because I don't like using console. It's bad. It's bad for you. By done. 40, 41, 40, great, whatever. 37, 36, 35, 33, 32. And that now is completely suppressed. Because current piracy is below piracy suppression. Now piracy effects are going whenever. So basically, piracy effect is going to start actually taking trade away when current piracy exceeds the combined protections. So in this case, if current piracy ever got above 56, then it would start affecting us. And we would lose up to, well, it would be 44 trade value being nicked if we did nothing with, one of these. Piracy is suppressed. Lovely. So if you wanted to do it properly, we would have these shipping patrols going back and forth. We'd have probably another one. And it would pay off in the end. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how the trade system works. It's how we generate it. It's how it's used for. A good benefit of being in a trade league is that we can get multiple things out of it instead of just money, just energy credits. I think that is a good overview. I think that's a good overview. So, we'll probably looking at about half an hour, maybe a bit less. We'll see how it goes. Any other questions, please do let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. I have been Nova Kane, and it's pretty crazy out there, so play games as much as you can. Escape to a different world. That's what I've been doing. Many thanks to the patrons that are on the bottom of your screen now. If you'd like to support the channel, if you have learned things, if I've improved your gaming life in any way, then perhaps consider chipping in $1 or $2, whatever you can afford. It really does make the world of difference. And with that, I wish to say thanks for watching, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.